sport. But the outcome or the gains garnered so far from that massive improved budget for sport is not that visible and evident for all to see. And we hope that this year is going to be a different ballgame where we are going to see tangible and concrete, evidence of this massive budget that have been increased to up to 300%. Away from that, Nigeria national record holder in women's high jump, Temitope Adesina, has been named the Big 12 indoor track and field athlete of the week following her first victory of the new season at the Corky Classic last weekend. The Big 12 is a collegiate athlete conference in the United States of America consisting of 16 full members universities, 3 private and 13 public across the state of Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Iowa, Kansas, Ohio, Oklahoma, and the rest of the state out there. Additional Kingsley has started off the season on a very inspiring note.
Yeah, we just hope that, she continue with this impressive one, we've seen so far. She's been brilliant, she's been putting up that high level of dominance, so we just hope that, she continue this year to put up that high level of impressive performance going forward.
All right, a great one for Adesina. She has been all-time. She has been named the all-time second best athlete in terms of a long jump out there in her university, and she has kick-started the season on a very inspiring note. We hope that this stellar beginning from her this 2026 is going to end in glory. Away from that, the organizers of Niger Delta Games on Wednesday in Benin City reiterated that the states are prohibited from presenting non-indigenous athletes at its second edition of Niger Delta Games scheduled for Edo State from February 20th to 27th. This is even as the company and the host state Edo reaffirmed their commitment to organizing the biggest regional sport fiesta that will surpass the maiden edition in New York, Akwa Ibom State. So, Kingsley, the aim here is that all the 9 Niger Delta states must, as a matter of must, present athletes from their respective states. You think this can be achievable?
Of course, that is the essence of the Niger Delta Games now. That's the essence of the competition.
What I ask is that we've seen the first edition, we've seen some names, literally an Akwa Ibom name representing Edo State, or some name that this person is from this particular state, but you hear he or she representing a different state, and that is why the question whether can we truly achieve this.
Yes, I think it's something we can achieve, because what's the essence of the Niger Delta Games? If you're saying, okay, it is a Niger Delta competition, and at the end of the day you're still poaching athletes from other states, then it defeats the essence of the game. So for me, I think the organizers should really make sure that this one comes to stand. If you're coming with athletes, the athlete needs to come from your state. If you don't have athletes, you need to look for a way to train the ones you want to use. So that's the essence of the game. You must come with athletes from your state. Let people from your state come and compete. Not when it's time for Niger Delta Games, you run to Delta, you run to River State.
To poach
yes, to poach athletes, and all of that. Bring them from. I don't know people who are interested in sports in the state. I don't know people who are passionate about sports. I don't know people that's that has that ability to be able to perform. So I think this is what it is. This shouldn't be a state must win by all costs. It is not the essence of the game. The essence of the game is to spot out talent. That's the essence of the Niger Delta game. It's not about who came first, who came second in the competition, and all of that. Who came first, who came second in the competition are talent-based spotted. The athletes that are being used are they from the respective states. These are things, of course, we look out for, at the end of the day. So for me, I think if the organizers can make this one work, it will really, really help, this particular competition. And then not just that, it will also help the states to be able to provide their own athletes. Not when it's time for the National Sport Festival, you see states still going out to look out for athletes in other states to see how they can have a good representation. The essence of the game is to spot our talent. Let's see if we can get the next Tobi Amusan from Akwa Ibom. Let's see if we can get the next Esebrume from River State. Let's see if we can get Chukwuebuka Enekuchi maybe from Bayelsa. These are things that we should be looking out for at this point in time. Not, whenever the competition comes, states start running helter-skelter to go and look for the best athlete that will represent them just to win the competition. I don't think that should be the essence. The essence should be how, at the end of the competition, how many talents were you able to spot? You keep them aside and give them that platform to grow. That's how we can be able to build the next generation. But if we continue like this, having that mentality of we must win the Niger Delta games, and then because of that, you want to do everything by all means to get the best athletes, in your team to make sure you win. At the end of the day, the essence of the competition will be defeated. So for me, I think the organizers should try as much as they can to make sure that states, they come out with athletes from that particular state, not seeing an athlete bearing the name of any other state, whereas you're participating for a particular state. So let's just see how this one, of course, will go down. But I think for me, if it's implemented, it will be a welcome development.
It's going to be a welcome development if properly implemented. The aim here is to develop, harness and nurture talent from within the Niger Delta region, specifically from each state, and not to poach athletes. This is the aim, and the organizer has sent a stern warning to states who might be thinking of poaching athletes. They say this time around it's not going to be business as usual, as every state from the Niger Delta region must produce athletes of their own aborigine. All right, away from that, let me serve you some of the results at the ongoing Australian Open, because yesterday we saw Botic van der Zerkop defeat Juan Qinzing 7-6, 6-2, while Elliot Spiziri also defeated Yibing Wu 6-4, 4-6, 7-6. Arthur Gay defeated Stan Wareka 6-3, 5-7, 6, 5-7, 7-6 while also Thomas Machek defeated Stefano Tsitsipas 6-3, 7-6 in that encounter. Kingsley, is this a surprise to you? Tsitsipas defeated?
Yes, of course. Tsitsipas, for him to be defeated, I think for me it's another sad one. Looking at the fact that there's been a lot of hope, a lot of confidence that maybe he's going to at least put up something this year, but ousted out in the competition at this stage.
Thomas Machek.
Yeah, not a good one at all. Not a good one. It shows that the guys are not improving. It shows that they are not ready to take up the challenge. They are not ready to go far, all right, to challenge the big two. Talking about Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner. If at the end of the day, at this stage of the competition, you're being ousted out, it means the guys are not ready.
Yeah.
The Zverev, Medvedev, Telefries, Tsitsipas, we've not seen that sparkling performance to say these guys are ready to compete with the big two, from what we've seen at this point in time. For me, it's not really, really impressive. We're not seeing that competition. We're only seeing in the male category of tennis now a duopoly. That's between Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz at this point in time. The other guys are just there just to perform, get ranking points, and go back. We're not seeing them coming up to challenge those big guys. I think the only person that is even trying to mediate at this point is Novak Djokovic. And you talk about Djokovic, I don't think there's anything that can take him by surprise at this point in time. The man has gotten everything, just waiting to hit that 25th Grand Slam, and it's probably might be done, for him, at this point in time. And that's not the kind of person we should be maybe talking about of breaking that duopoly. It should be about Zverev, You talk about the Tsitsipas, the Taylor Freeze, the Medvedev, as it stands. These are people we should expect to live up to expectation. And even some of them are gradually are even passing their prime at this point in time. So it becomes worrisome. You ask yourself, who is going to be the person that will maybe stand up to challenge these other guys, as it stands. So let us see how it goes. But for me, I think it's not a good one for Tsitsipas to be hosted out at this stage of the competition.
Very not interesting one for the followers and the lovers of Stefanos Tsitsipas, as he has been hosted out of the Australian Open by Thomas Machek. Meanwhile, other result that came through as well saw Shapovalov defeat Marian Cilic 4-6, 6-2, 6-3, while Taylor Freeze also saw off Vite Kopriva 4-6, 6-4, 7-6. Yannick Sinner, the Italian, defeated James Duckworth 4-6, 6-2, 6-1, while Kasper Ruud also got a better of Jaume Muna 5-7, 6-4, 6-3. Lina Thiem also beat Nuno Bergs 7-6, 6-4, 6-2. Dani Medvedev also up there on the winning side as he beat Fabian Marosan 6-4, 7-6, 6-3. Tommy Paul also beat Alejandro Davidovic Fokina 6-love, 1-love. Fokina retired in that particular game. Carlos Alcaraz, the young Spaniard, also saw off Corentin Moutet 6-2, 6-4, 6-1. Francisco Redondo will be up against Andrei Rublev later today. And in fact, as we speak right now, that match is on, while Alexander Zverev will play against Cameron Norrie, the British. Francis Tiafoe versus Alex de Minaur, while Alexander Public will play Thomas Echeverry in that particular order. All right, when we are back in the evening, we'll serve you the full result of the female categories, because some result, interesting one in the female categories also were on showcase. But then at this point, let's take a quick break from the non-footballing stories. When we are back in the second half, we'll talk everything that you need to know about football. Don't go anywhere. All right, you're welcome back from that short break. Still talking sport right here on Atlantic Television Network. And let's talk football on the show this morning because Maureen Ajibade has been appointed the new head coach of Nigerian Women Football League side, Delta Queens. Kingsley, Maureen Ajibade, can he continue to steady the ship of Delta Queens for good?
We'll just see how it goes. We hope that, you know, she's been able to put things right, you know, at this point in time. Delta Queens, I think they've not really gotten that stability so far. So we'll just see what, you know, Maureen, you know, will bring to the table. I think she's very experienced, you know, when it comes to the Nigerian Women Football League. So let's expect, you know, something very huge.
All right, let's expect something huge from Maureen Ajibade. Meanwhile, Remo Stars have been fined 7 million naira by the Nigerian Premier Football League authority for failing to provide adequate security during their match day 20 encounter against Ikorodu City. This issue of crowd trouble is not ending anytime soon. Kingsley, Remo Stars, another team on the bad spotlight here.
Yeah, definitely not a good one at all, you know, for Remo Stars, and it's time for them to be able to put things, you know, right, you know, at this point in time. They've not been getting a fantastic, you know, performance when it comes to their activities on the pitch of play. And at the end of the day, they are still involving themselves, you know, in crowd violence, you know, and all of that. I don't think it's a good one at this point in time. They should try as much as they can to stabilize things, you know, for themselves and see how they can maybe push up on the league table. They are defending champions. If you look at it, nowhere close when it comes to the top 5, you know, in the league. So I think it's time for Remo Stars to be able to put every other distraction aside and keep their head, you know, up to fight, you know, probably to finish in a comfortable position at the end of the season.
Remo Stars, a troubling time for them as their struggle continue in the league. This time around, frustration set in as their fans went overboard to attack match officials in their last game. That is match day 20, and they were fined heavily by the Nigerian Premier Football League Board. They've also been banned from playing at their home turf for some matches right now. All right, let's talk about the Super Falcons, because the former Super Falcons striker Patient Avery has called on the Nigerian Football Federation to organize more friendly matches for the team ahead of their WAFCON title defense in Morocco. A 10-time African champions have not played any international friendlies since their unbeaten campaign at the WAFCON in July 2025. A situation I've already described as concerning with the tournament holding in March. This is a genuine call, Kingsley, since the Super Falcons won her 10th WAFCON title. They have not played any competitive friendly games since then, and the next, championship, I mean, will just soon be right here with us. And Everett has called for the NFF to organize, friendly games for the Super Falcons. This is a right call for me, isn't it?
It's a right call, but must the NFF must they tell them what to do? I don't understand. This is very bad. Must they tell them what to do? What is there in organizing a friendly game for these girls to train, to get themselves, adapted? It's very bad. The Nigerian Football Federation, I don't know what they are doing. Are they really working? Honestly, I don't know what they are doing. Even the Super Eagles, they say they're even concentrating on pay match bonus is a problem. So it is very sad. The Super Falcons that are even doing well, dominating their own competition and all of that, you don't give them attention. What is there for you to just organize, even though it's a nearby country? Just organize a friendly, let the guests, come together and play. You're preparing for the WAFCON, and at the end of the day, you're just there. So it's very, very sad. It's very, very sad, the way, football, the way the NFF, they're doing things. It is very, very disappointing. We don't have people that are passionate about the game. They're not passionate about the game. I think what they're just there for is just self-glory. Yes, and at the end of the day, the little money available, they take it to do one or two, and you don't know, you can't even account, or you can't even see what they do with this money. It is very bad. It is very, very bad, honestly. I just wish the Super Falcons the very best of luck. Someone coming out to see they're supposed to organize a friendly game for the girls. Is this what the NFF should be told? It is very disheartening, Mike, and I don't know how we'll get out of all of this, all right? I just hope that the Super Falcons will find a way and do what they know how to do best, during the WAFCON.
I think not playing friendly games before the next AFCON is going to seriously affect the girls, having seen the bond that exists among the players. Do you think that that is really necessary?
Friendly game is necessary before a tournament. How will you just gather yourself and just go for a tournament? The players, they've not even played, they've not played, at least know how, maybe in it, let's say, friendly game is a mini competitive game to say. At least when the players get into the pitch, they are being faced by an opponent, and you see that they'll be able to at least know how to position themselves, and all of that on the pitch of play. So a friendly game before a tournament is very, very important. All right, it keeps the players in shape and make them to be focused, knowing that, oh, this might not be business as usual. We have to be up, we have to step up to make sure we get the job done. So it is very, very disappointing. You should organize a friendly game before you go into a particular tournament. It helps to keep the team in shape. So for me, I think it is very, very necessary, very, very necessary to put up a friendly before the WAFCON.
Very, very necessary to put the players in shape as they take part in friendly games. The last muttered, friendly games, we heard that the players came out to say that they were not going to honor any national team calls until their bonuses and allowances from the last AFCON is fully paid. I guess maybe this is just the reason why NFF has not been able to put up friendly games for the Super Falcons, and we just keep our fingers crossed, hoping that all is going to go well for the Super Falcons, so that they will get some friendly games as they pep up for the next championship. Away from that, Egypt head coach Hossein Hassan has said that playing the Super Eagles in the third place playoff at the African Cup of Nations was just a formality sake. Hassan also said he was satisfied with the team's performance, even though they did not win the bronze medal. Kingsley, you think this is coming from truly the depth of Hossein Hassan? He said the third place match was just a mere formality for him. But then, if he had won this particular one, do you think he would have...
It wouldn't be a formality. No, it wouldn't be a formality in it, all right? I don't think, he really meant what he said, because there's always a third place game in a competition like that. So you should be ready. Winning the third place is something at least commendable. You couldn't win the competition. You couldn't, of course, come up as a runner-up, but you're able to take a bronze medal home. At least it's something, okay? Especially when you take a look at the prize money attached to that position. It's also something very huge, as it stands. So for me, I think if he has won it, he wouldn't have come out to say that, oh, the third place game did not really matter, at this point in time. And maybe just trying to save his job, and all of that. But take a look at that performance. Super Eagles of Nigeria were all over trying to get that win, as it stands. So for me, I think it matters. It matters. You have to do your best to make sure you finish on a high. Unfortunately, it didn't actually go his way. So I don't think if he has won, I think if he has won it, he won't have come out, to even say a third place game does not matter.
All right, for Hossein Hassan is saying that after they were beaten by the Super Eagles in the third place match of the just concluded African Cup of Nations, that the third place match was just a mere formality. And I think for me, this is just like a spirit of defeatism for Hossam Hassan. All right, away from that, Super Eagles striker Akko Adams has earned continental recognition as his goal against Algeria during the 2025 African Cup of Nations has been listed among CAF's top 5 goals of the tournament, compiled on the AFCON 2025 X yesterday. Adams' memorable strike came in the quarterfinal clash against Algeria, where his precision, composure, and technical brilliance helped the Super Eagles to a 2-0 victory. The goal played a crucial role in propelling the Super Eagles toward a third-place finish in the competition. I know you can remember that goal, Kingsley. Was a calm, coolly collected strike from Akko Adam, and it has been shortlisted as one of the best goals of the just concluded African Cup of Nations. You think that goal is deserving to be among the best?
I think the organizers of the competition actually probably might have done a proper review to take a look at some of the goals that were scored and look at that one as well to actually come to conclusion that yes, this is one of the best goals of the tournament. And so far, you take a look at that goal, I think was a brilliant one, you know, from Akko Adams, and it's good of a thing at least he was actually being recognized, you know, when it comes to the best goal of the tournament. It gives Nigeria credibility, and for Akko Adams as well, he also gives him that credibility that he's a very impressive striker that could, of course, you know, put a very impressive performance, you know, anytime, you know, any day. It's a huge credit, you know, for the man and for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. For me, I think if you look at it, yes, it falls into that category of one of the best goals, you know, in the African Cup of Nations.
All right, one of the best goals as it has been nominated by CAF. You know, that goal is scored against Morocco was such a cool and calmly collected, you know, goal coming in from the boot of Akko Adams. We are running out of time because in the evening by 6 we'll make a return to take you through some of the latest gist in the world of sport and football, as well do it to take you to the European scene, where we are going to see some mouth-watering weekend fixtures this weekend in the English Premier League and other leagues across Europe. We'll do it to serve you the result of the, you know, Australian Open, talking about the female category. But at this point, I did a show this morning alongside Kingsley Emmanuel. My name is Emmanuel Michael, the Prime Minister of the Airways, and we're saying have a great day ahead.